Welcome back to the Shred the Spread podcast. I'm your host, Jared. Listen, I know we are on an unbelievably rough stretch. 1-4, 1-4, 1-4. After starting the contest out 3-2, 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, 3-2, 3-2, 4-1, this is not ideal. We also lost the survivor, Josh Dobbs, 4 interceptions against the Bears. Justin Fields leads them down to a game-winning field goal. And after I talked about potentially taking the Titans and I went with the Vikings, oh, trust me, I'm hurt. There was only 800 people left in that contest, starting with 108,000. So yes, that is a bummer. But we are turning a new leaf. We have a big week. We have a big weekend ahead of us. Dynell and I will be in Atlantic City this weekend.
Yes, sir.
If any of you guys are in the area and would love to come have a drink with us, we will be there Saturday and Sunday. We are staying at Caesar's Palace. Feel free to shoot us a DM on Twitter at @shredthespread_. We would love to meet some of you guys. But we're here for business. We're here to turn this ship around. We're having a winning week. We're going to approach this differently. Obviously, Dynell and I have not had a true preview show in 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. And ironically, those 3 weeks were our worst week of the contest. So something about us coming together early in the week and reading these lines speaks volume. But with that being said, let's get right into it. Let me bring in my co-host, my right-hand man, my dude. I know what's going on, man.
Yeah, what's going on, my guy? Like you said, man, an unreal stretch on the opposite side. I mean, this is definitely unreal. Like I said, I haven't had one of these stretches. I can't remember the last time I had one of these stretches. But here's what I will say, man. Oh, we're due. We come back hot. See, the thing about good bettors is we might have those weak stretches, but we come back strong, baby. And I expect a nice, strong week while going to AC. Come on, man. This is just this is what the doctor ordered, man, to get back on track. So, man, let's dive into this. Let me get my motherfucking shovel and let's start digging. Come on, baby.
Yeah, dude, we're going to approach this differently. If there's a game that we're just not interested in, we're not even going to spend too much time on it. We're going to fly through this shit. We're going to pivot to games that we actually have valid input in. We're not going to sit here and dwindle on these games that we're potentially A, not even going to put in the contest, or B, not even bet on, because obviously people, the listeners, they're here to make some goddamn money. And that's what we're going to do this week. We're talking it into existence. We're speaking, I should say, but we're going to get right into it.
All right, here we go. So in all likelihood, Deshaun Jackson's going to at least get a return. Deshaun Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding? Way down top. Is a disgusting act by Randy Moss.
Let's start off with the Thursday night game. We have the Seattle Seahawks traveling to Dallas. The Dallas are 8.5-point favorites at home in Jerry World. See, this is an interesting one.
Yes.
Just brief disclosure for everybody. The contest lines, are not out. I know you guys are probably not shocked at this point. I don't know what the hell's going on, but the contest lines are not out. So we are using DraftKings Sportsbook for our best judgment. And remember that the point spreads are half points. So if I give these lines out, which I may just move these in a half point direction just to, for the hell of it. But if I accidentally say a full number, just remember that in the contest, they are half point lines. But with that being said, the Cowboys are big favorites at home. The Cowboys have been covering at big favorites, especially at home. Dak at home, again, is a fantastic quarterback. But I see this number has gotten up to 9 in some places. Well, actually, I'm just kidding. It looks like it's about to hit 9 in some places. No, it actually is 9 on PointsBet. Okay, I take all that back. So yes, this line is moving towards the 9. If this line's at 8.5, I think I lean the Cowboys. But if it gets to 9, I think I have to play the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks, it's almost like they're like left for dead at this point. Like, they're very low value in the market. Obviously, the public is going to bet Dallas heavy. I just don't see myself probably betting a side in this game. Obviously, I'll be playing these primetime unders. Dynell, did you know Sunday night and Monday night, the last 15 games have all went under?
Which is wild. Which is wild. And then we had we had a lot of bad games, but there was a couple of marquee matches where you expect the points to be dropped and right on under.
So that's another prime example here. We have the line sitting at 47.5. I'm going to play the under. This is just like the lazy pick. I'll be on the under. I don't necessarily have a side that I love. I'm guessing that the Seahawks are plus 8.5 in the contest. Did you have any read on this line?
Not really too much of a read. I mean, kind of in the same sense. If it's up to that 9.5 range, I would more lean towards Seattle. Granted, the Dallas Cowboys I think have lost to a team over 500. Aren't the Seahawks at this point like just above 500, right at that
Six
level?
and five.
6-5, right? So they're technically a winning team, but right now this is a winning team on a decline. So I would like be a little bit more cautious with this. I mean, I honestly believe the Seahawks can definitely snipe out and keep it within 6, keep it within 7. But then again, I doubted the Cowboys before, and that has turned me right upside down. So I don't really have too much of a great read right now. Like I said, there's a little bit more gray area with this game, especially with Dallas being home, and then like I said, the Seahawks having the winning record. But I would lean more towards I guess like I said, below 9 Cowboys, above 9 Seahawks. So you kind of hit it right on the noggin.
Yeah, it's just like I mean, you mentioned a really good point that the Cowboys have not beaten a team that's over 500 record wise. So, I agree with you there. I mean, it's hard to go against that trend. But this most likely won't be a play for us in the contest. So we would just go ahead and move on to the next game. And that game just so happens to be the Miami Dolphins traveling to Washington. Commanders are plus 9.5 at home. I don't know, dude. I know that the Commanders have looked a little rough on defense after trade, obviously their pass rush, but doesn't this seem like a game that the Commanders would stay in just because their offense? I mean, this Dolphins defense isn't anything special, and Tua on the road is a place where I kind of like to look at the other side. I like to play the home team when Tua's on the road. Doesn't this seem like a spot where the Commanders kind of keep this close, surprisingly?
Most definitely, but I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't just me being a biased fan at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, whenever you give to me, Commanders plus 9.5 and above at that point to me is really a good value deal for the Commanders. Obviously, they got stomped out by the Cowboys and the Bills during those 2 games, respective games. But let's go into detail here. So like you said, Tua away, you definitely want to lean. You definitely want to fade Tua heading on the road, especially in the East Coast where the weather is going to be cold. Okay, but it's not Miami. This is going to be cold weather. And you're getting a defensive coaching change. Now, Ron Rivera, who was a defensive background coach, is coming in to now take over the defensive play calling and defensive operations. So we'll see definitely a jump and hopefully a little bit more of a leeway there. But like I said, this is tough. This is definitely tough. I feel like this is more of a trap game more than anything. So if you don't bet the Commanders plus 9.5, I would advise you to stay away from this because I'm telling you right now, Sam Howell and that offense can go down the field against anyone. And that screen game against that Miami secondary, hands down, would definitely be a thing to look out for. So, like I said, I lean plus 9.5, but like you said, man, I just want to make sure I kept the bias out of it,
Yeah, I actually don't lean. I love the 9.5. I definitely see this as a potential contest play. And I mean, it's really just because the Tua on the road thing, like he had one good game on the road, obviously versus the Jets defense, but like, it was late explosion. Like that game was actually pretty close for the most part.
Until the fourth quarter. They would give up 25 points.
Exactly. But like, is there a chance that happens with the Commanders? Absolutely. But the Commanders, I could easily see them putting up 21 points. My model has this game at 7. So I do feel like I'm getting 2.5 points of value. So I like that in itself. And just the biggest thing, Tua on the road is a spot, especially if I like the spot, I'm getting Tua on the road. Sign me up. I like the Commanders at home plus 9.5. Give me the points.
And on top of that, Tua hasn't looked really that sharp either these past few weeks. He hasn't looked that sharp.
Surprising amount of turnovers.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Let's go down to New Orleans. They're hosting the Lions. The Saints are plus 3.5 at home. Dude, Derek Carr in the red zone is just a nightmare.
Right.
This is extremely public. I mean, I like the Lions, definitely not as a contest play. I like them just because, like, I feel like they've laid back-to-back eggs. Like, obviously, they lost to the Packers on Thanksgiving, and then they came from behind miraculously versus the Bears. So I feel like they're due for a good game. And the Saints' defense their defense has been good because of their coverage. So, a lot of times, Dynell and I say we're back in the Saints because their defense, and it's mainly because their pass defense. Their rushing defense is awful. They don't really get pressure on the quarterback anymore. They let running backs basically fall for 4 yards, it feels like. And obviously, we have a 2-headed monster in Detroit with Gibbs and Montgomery. But the biggest thing that I took away was Marshawn Lattimore is not going to be back there in the secondary. So He's obviously a big staple of that passing defense. Jared Goff has kind of been struggling lately. I feel like you take their best playmaker on defense out of it. Obviously, that leaves a little bit more open lanes for Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't know. I lean the lines here. I don't love it because it's so public, but what do you think?
No, you're definitely right. I actually lean the lines here. I might actually like this a little more than what you do, because like you say, you're right. This is more of like a public play. Derek Carr. What else to say? What else is to say about Derek Carr? But here's the kicker I kind of think about it. They are on the road, but once again, they're in a dome, because in Louisiana they play in a dome as well. So you got that going for Jared Goff. You don't have to worry about no weather factors. And like you said, man, they should be running the ball right down the Saints' throat. Right, completely down the Saints' throat. They shouldn't really try to pass the ball. Jared Goff has actually been, think about those last two games. Think about how many times Jared Goff has got pressure on him these past couple of games. The Green Bay Packers brought it, and so did the Bears brought it the previous week before that. So I think the goal of the Dan Campbell's going to be I think he's going to lean more into that run game now this week. He's going to bleed out a lot of clock, which means the Saints will have less chances to really kind of score. So I would say, I wouldn't say I love the Lions, but I definitely lean the Lions, like I said, off of a back-to-back rough weeks. You just lost last week on Thanksgiving, an embarrassment. And then why not come into New Orleans, a team who's up, down as it is, and as a defense, you want to play this offense because they can't. They're allergic to red zone touchdowns. So like you said, man, I will lean more towards Lions, but yeah, like I said, let's talk about this more. We'll talk about this more a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, I want to keep an eye out on this game just for live betting purposes. So this weekend, when we're actually betting the NFL, remind me, take a look at the live bet for the Lions in the Saints game. Mm-hmm. If we go out there and let's just say it's halftime and we see the Lions are running the ball a lot, I might smash them live. Maybe on like an alt line. But I really want to see the game plan. If they come out running the ball, I love the Lions. If I see that Jared Goff is passing back, throws the ball 18 times, 20 times in the first half, maybe I'll slide on over and live bet the Saints. So that's just how I'm reading it. That's exactly how I'm probably going to play the game.
Yeah, and he's been sacked 5 times the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks before that, 0 and 0. And then the last time he got sacked 5 times was against the Ravens. So you already know that Ravens defense is tough. So like I said, man, let's try to avoid the pressure. Like you said, just watch the script. Just keep an eye on that script.
The line is moving in the Lions' favor, so that's telling too. There's this game, honestly, we could skip. It's Chargers and Patriots. Patriots are +6 at home. They're the right side, but am I going to put my hard-earned cash on the Patriots? Yeah, I don't think so. Mac Jones is broken. So we'll move on to that because I doubt you have a play on that. This is an interesting one. The Cardinals are traveling to Pittsburgh Steelers -5.5 at home. This line is weird.
Weird as fuck.
Looking at this, it's like, wow, you're catching 5.5 with Kyler Murray. How are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to do? It's not like they see Kyler Murray very often. And my friend made a good point to me. He said, this line is suspiciously high for the Steelers. And he kind of broke it down to me. He said, who do the Steelers get to face twice a year? Lamar Jackson. Who is a better scrambler than Kyler Murray? Lamar Jackson. So they are keen to this type of offense. And obviously there's not on the, wide receiver side of the ball, there's not too many playmakers for the Cardinals. Like you got McBride going over the middle. You got Marquise Brown trying to get past that secondary. Rondell Moore obviously has chemistry with Kyler Murray, but if they make it an objective to keep him out of the game and eliminate the explosive plays, it's not like James Conner's going to run down the Steelers' throat, and it just takes one big sack to change the game with TJ Watt because Kyler Murray kind of runs around in the pocket. So he did make a good point to me, which kind of made me almost want to take the Steelers because it's this high for a reason. What does the book know? Because I feel like initial read, you take the Cardinals here, but after kind of digging into it, I almost think that the Steelers are the right side.
Most certainly. And I kind of feel that way too. I'm just cautious because I don't want to overreact over a great offensive week after seeing consistently that this offense is bad. Now, granted, like I said, Matt Canada, I said it before in this podcast, he's the fucking problem. It's ironic enough that after they fire him, they have the first 400 yardage offensive performance in 58 games. And you guess who coached the majority of those 58 games in the last 3 years? Matt Canada. Shocker, huh? Yeah. So this is, like I said, this is going to be very, very telling to me. Now, granted, well, not really telling because the Cardinals aren't that great but they do have pride on that defensive side of the field. All right, they still got playmakers out there with Buda Baker. So I will kind of like I said, I get his point because you remember you're most certainly right. I mean, like I said, the point he brought up with, like I said, the archetype of the quarterback and the way this offense is ran was actually that's intelligent as hell. That was a very beautiful point, especially with that division rival in Lamar Jackson. So we'll see. Like I said, I definitely lean more towards Steelers -5.5, but I want to see a little bit more from the Steelers offense and see what they can actually truly do.
Yeah, no, I agree with you to the point that, they put up that many yards last week, but they're a team that just struggles in the red zone. They put up 16 points. So
yeah, exactly.
If that's Patrick Mahomes, he's put up 35. That's the difference. So, I'm not saying Kenny Pickett's anywhere to Patrick Mahomes, but like those yards speak for themselves. It's kind of like that Bill Belichick defense. It's almost how the Eagles play this year. They give you the yards, but they're forcing you to kick 3 and they're beating you because 7 is more than 3 any day of the week. So, the red zone for the offense of the Steelers is what scares me off this. I don't think this will be a contest play, but this is also another, live bet opportunity, I think, depending on what you get for value of the line. This next game is an interesting one. This number has bounced back and forth. It's either 2.5 or 3.5 in the contest. Not 100% sure. Excuse me. But they have the Broncos on the road traveling to Houston. Right now, the number is sitting at 3.5, but I would not be surprised if it's 2.5 in the contest.
Right. Exactly.
We will play it as 3.5. So we'll talk about both situations. Obviously, the Broncos are on a five game winning streak. But it's almost like Sean Payton doesn't trust Russell Wilson. So are they winning because Russell Wilson is not being trusted, so he can't necessarily turn the ball over, and they're just sticking with the running game? The Texans, obviously, the one time we actually backed the Texans, we just get robbed of so much shit. Like that was actually very disgusting. Last week, Tank Dell, like a 60-yard bomb called back for a freaking ghost penalty, a random motion, like the shit that Tyreek Hill does all the time. The head start on the motion, like that's just weird shit. And then we had, obviously the doink that could have taken us to overtime and obviously helped us cover. But I don't know. This one's a weird one. I don't necessarily know if it'll be a contest play. If it's +3.5, I like the Broncos. If it's 2.5 and the Texans are -2.5, I think I like the Texans. Because I had this number sitting right at 3, so obviously I'll play either side of the hook. I mean, I'm not too strongly opinionated on this at all. What do you think?
Music to my ears, bro. You said it exactly how the way I see it, man. 2.5 Broncos, 3.5. I'm sorry, 2.5 Texans, 3.5 Broncos. Like I said, you got to play the hook. This is literally, I think that line is split evenly at that 3 mark, like you said. My main concerns with the Broncos is Russell Wilson. Like I said, Russell Wilson has definitely turned the page, but Russell Wilson still hasn't looked elite or like great in a way.
Yeah,
those
not
wins
at all.
where he's putting up, like I said, with those little narrow margin wins that they've been winning, Russell Wilson puts up mad to average performances every single time. Now, like I said, this defense has finally returned to form. I don't know what the hell took them this long, but this defense is really starting to get back together. But I'm letting you know right now, between the Josh Dobbs led Vikings, the Dorian Thomas Robinson Browns, and then like I said, you did good against the Bills, but then again, every so often, every other week, the fucking Bills look like shit. And like I said, you had a great performance against Patrick Mahomes 4 weeks ago. I get that. I want to see how consistent this defense is really playing going against now a better offense and with CJ Stroud. I'm not saying they're better than Patrick Mahomes in the offense. I get that. But I'm letting you know this right now. The receivers don't drop passes. I can tell you this right now. CJ Stroud is not sporadic like Josh Allen. I can tell you this right now. He's more talented than Joshua Dobbs and Dorian Thomas Robinson. So watch out. I'm letting you guys watch out, man. CJ Stroud's coming. He just had a rough loss last week in a division game that they needed. I'm letting you this right now. This Texas team is for real, and I really honestly believe in them. I don't really believe in the Broncos rise, but there is lots and lots of holes to pick apart with that. So you telling me right now, like I said, I would love to get Texas -2.5. That would be one of my favorite plays of the week.
Okay, I like to hear it. I think I agree with you. If it's 2.5, especially this Broncos defense on the road, I think this is definitely where we would take a shot, run back CJ. I think he's due for. I mean, still as bad as kind of they look the eye test, he still threw for 304 last week.
He's been throwing for 300 yards for the past 3 fucking weeks.
Like that bet is almost automatic.
He's been damn near the most ironically, he's been damn near the most consistent quarterback this year. Damn near.
I mean, just for the total being at 47.5, I mean, if this is going to be a high scoring game, I think this Texans offense is a little bit more explosive than the Broncos.
Most certainly.
Yeah, it's definitely one we're going to keep our eyes on. Let's move on to, let's actually go up to New York. The New York Jets are hosting the Atlanta Falcons. Dude, the Falcons are laying 2.5 points on the road. Listen, I'm not saying we have to put this in the contest. You guys know that the Jets are like, we have a very more like a hate love relationship. But the Jets are the Jets are taking 2.5 at home against the Falcons. Like, okay, Desmond Ridder, incredible athlete. He made that like back foot pass to Bijan under pressure. Like, okay, yeah, he's an incredible athlete, but the guy's not a fucking quarterback. He's not real. Like that girl on the plane. Like that motherfucker is not real. He is not a real quarterback. Like he is not a real quarterback. All right. Yeah. The Jets are the right side. I'm not saying we have to play it. I'm just speaking my piece. There's no way the Falcons are laying 2.5 on the road in New York. I mean, give me a fucking break, right?
Damn right, bro. The total's at over 34 points. That is insane. You already know what I'm leaning towards. That you lean towards the great defense, and the greatest defense on that side is the Jets. I'm just so goddamn scared to put money on Tim Boyle. Like I'm really about to. Well, is Tim Boyle even starting? Who is starting?
I think it is. I mean, obviously they opened up the practice window for A-Rod, so he's got like 3 weeks or something, which is nuts.
Which is fucking nuts. They're really gonna try to force this. But
yeah, I'm assuming it is Boyle.
Oh, like I said, this is ugly. I ain't gonna lie to you. When I
you know what this is, Dynell? We haven't said in a while. The Bumbo
of the week. Damn right.
That's what it is.
Yo, I was talking to because one of my boys asked me a question about this when I was on the game, just chilling, playing. And he said, and the first thing I said is, I want no parts of it, motherfucking. I'm about to either I'm not going to lay no points with the Falcons, and I'm about to give 2.5 points to the Tim Boyle led Jets. This is fucking insane. But you're right. As far as I lean, you got to go with the 2.5 points. The NFC South is a nightmare. The NFC South is a complete nightmare. When you bet on them, you can't win none. You don't win much. I would lean more towards Jets plus 2.5.
Yeah, this is obviously a beautiful teaser game. You can get the Jets up to 8.5, 9, depending on what book you got at. I think the Jets are up to +3 in a lot of places. So I mean, if it's at 3, I love it.
Slam it.
Yeah, but also I love it for a teaser play. I mean, this is a beautiful teaser leg.
Oh yeah.
Especially when there might not be enough points in the damn game to ruin a teaser either way. Let's move on to a game that you guys aren't going to be shocked. It's the Titans hosting the Colts. I love the Titans. Yeah. Titans +1 at home. We got Gardner Minshew on the road outside. Jonathan Taylor getting surgery. Come on now. Will Levis has looked, he's looked decent. He's making some decent passes. Granted, it was the Panthers defense last week, but I don't know. This just seems like such a Titan spot, does it not?
It does seem like a Titan spot. It's a tight, but here's my thing. Here's what I will say to you. This was a Titan spot with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback at that point. I don't like. Oh boy, like Will Levis against the Panthers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, like you said, that was damn near your second survivor pick. We all knew what the hell was gonna happen there. And Bryce Young continues to look probably just as bad as he did the whole goddamn season. Gardner Minshew is not great. Gardner Minshew is probably not even good. He's probably borderline bad to good. Like he's like on that border. But like I said, they just find ways to win. I mean, the running game takes over at some points, and the defense comes up big at other points. But then the defense will let them down the next week. This is a division game. Whew. This is one of the tough calls for me. This is why the line's at +1. But I think you're right, bro. At home, granted, you're an underdog, not that much of an underdog, but you're still an underdog. And Mike Vrabel, underdog, backed by the division game. When Tennessee, come on. Like I get, trust me, I get it.
Come on, we already know the Titans win this game. Yeah. It's an ugly game. Titans pull it out. I mean, this is the game where just Derrick Henry just carries the load, carries them to victory. It's a close game going into the fourth quarter. They rely on Derrick Henry, kick the game, win a field goal. Done. Peace. Thanks for playing.
Sharp. Tajay Sharp has to step up too, man. Like I said, they really try to take the workload off of Derrick Henry. So I really hope. So Sharp really does have to step up for Derrick Henry here as well, man. So like I said, we'll see, man. This like I said, this is definitely a Titans line. This is definitely a Titans line.
I wonder what it's at in the contest. I'm hoping it's like because this number did come down. I'm hoping it's 1.5, 2.5, somewhere around there.
If it's 2.5, I got you.
Yeah, I really like the Titans this week though.
You already know
Panthers are the Panthers are playing the Buccaneers. Listen. I'm just going to say this. We're probably not going to have a play in this game. Probably not going to watch this game. Probably not going to have a penny on this game. The only thing I'm going to say is usually Dynell and I like back into teams that fire their head coach. This is a completely different scenario. Okay. The Panthers just don't know. I think it's almost like introducing a foreign team into an environment where they've been running for several years. It's almost like a rugby team joining the NFL. They're trying to figure out how to play football because they're so used to playing rugby. They can't quite figure it out. That's kind of what the Panthers are. Not only is their team a mess, their front office is a mess, their owner's a mess, and realistically, what head coach is going to want to take a job there? Like, because look, they didn't even get, okay, granted, Frank Reich maybe wasn't doing the best job, but at least give the guy a whole goddamn season. If you're going to pay him $20 and you're paying, or $20 million and you're paying the last head coach $20 million, you're already out the money. It's all guaranteed. What are you firing him for? To get a head start into next season to shit the bed again? You don't have your draft pick. You might as well go out there and see what you got. All right, I'm done ranting. That's my 2 cents. But Jesus Christ, it just pisses me off trying to see this bullshit of like the Panthers they are the epitome of pitiful. Sorry. Anyway, we can move on.
No, you good. No, you good. You good. Like I said, my angle. Like I said, here's what I do to back that up.
Oh God, he's got an angle.
Jared. So Jared, when you use the bathroom, right? You take a shit. You use 1 ply or 2 ply.
As many plies as I can get.
Yeah, exactly. But no matter what, you're wiping your ass is full of shit. So therefore, Buccaneers lead. Towards the Buccaneers by this 5.5.
God. Just will say, obviously, I'm not in Survivor anymore. But if I was playing Survivor, give me the goddamn.
Come on now. Tampa. Well, now I'm Tampa time. I'm not top of Tam. Not that no more. But
okay,
Baker.
We got to have an introduction for this game. Traveling to Philadelphia is the salty, shitty 49ers.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if the 49ers realize this, but obviously they played them in the playoffs last week and everybody's so damn butthurt. Wah fucking wah. Okay. Yes. This is a rematch from last year's NFC East or an NFC Championship. Deebo Samuel's calling James Bradbury trash. Listen, buddy, if one person's saying shit and the other person's keeping his mouth closed, get the fucking hint, Deebo. But what I will say is this is the game of the week. Hands fucking down. I know the world is going to be watching this shit. You thought the Eagles and Bills was a good game last week? Okay, times that by 3. This is an incredible game for viewership, an incredible game for the sport of football. And obviously, this is a little bit of a tease of the playoffs because chances are the Eagles and Niners may be facing in the NFC Championship. But with all that rambling, we have the Eagles plus 2.5 at home. For those of you guys who did not know, the Eagles open up at -2, and now they're up to plus 2.5. That's a lot of money coming on to move this game. Listen, I like the Eagles here. Back in Jalen Hurts at home has been profitable, playing them on the money line. I'll be playing this on the money line, obviously, this weekend. Dynell, I'm sure you already knew that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But listen, I know a lot of people are going to see, oh, wow, this line has changed. That's some serious money coming in. Okay, do we not forget that this just happened 2 weeks ago with the Chiefs, and then it happened last week with the Bills, and now it's happening this week with the Niners. Listen, I understand that the trends just don't make sense, but this Eagles team finds ways to win when they should not. That's what it boils down to. You take the Eagles at home until it fails you. It's almost like taking Mahomes under a field goal at home. You just take it. Obviously, taking Mahomes under a field goal at home didn't win versus the Eagles, but 95% of the time, your bet's going to be profitable. And that's what we do here. We play the side that wins majority of the time. Give me the Eagles plus 2.5 at home. If you can get this at +3, my fucking, I'll be playing this shit on the money line. Give me the Eagles. Give me the Birds. Go Birds. Fuck the Niners. What you got, Dynell?
Not going to lie to you, my boy. And you know me. As much as I'm a Commanders fan that I am, and I hate I'm going to say this, but I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't see the fucking Eagles losing this, bro. Yeah, and here's why. Let me explain something to you guys. All right. For all the naysayers that talked about last year, about what happened last year, how Brock Purdy got hurt, they didn't have a quarterback, Let's go back into review, okay? That 49ers defense is great, right? Yeah, okay, we can all agree they're great. And it just got Chase Young. They added, they revamped. Cool. They got great, right? That same game last year when Brock Purdy got hurt and everybody was whining and complaining about the 49ers not having a quarterback, didn't Jalen Hurts go in that game limping, banged up, and still had the same. And then Brock Purdy came in there healthy that same
He
week.
wasn't limping. He was pimping.
He was, yeah. That's what Eagles fans like to fucking say. But that man was limping like a motherfucker. He was damn near. He limped to Super Bowl. He got there anyway, limping or not. He got there. But that's my thing. What is the big complaint about here? Guys, we're talking about the Philadelphia Eagles at home. Y'all know how I feel about the Philadelphia Eagles at home. I don't think these motherfuckers ever lose. I really don't. They have a certain esque about them, guys. Like, they just find ways to win. I mean, even when you said, people say, the Eagles and the refs win every time. Well, late in that game, the refs damn near try to give the Bills that game. And here comes fucking Jake Elliott. Motherfucker kicks a 59 to 60-yard field goal, money. By the way, he is on his way to that Justin Tucker realm. He is on his way there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Granted, here's what I'm going to say about this. You give the Eagles plus 2.5 on the road. Jalen Hurts only lost 2 games his whole career. That's a starter. And on top of that, too, the 49ers, y'all know how I feel about Brock Purdy. I really don't think Brock Purdy is still elite. I'm not trying to hate. I'm trying to struggle or nothing like that. I still don't see the eliteness within him. And I feel like just because of the narration of this game, bold prediction. This is my bold prediction. Philadelphia Eagles will win by at least a touchdown this week. Honest to God. Just because of the feel of this game, they live up to the magnitude of it. And just because people are chirping about how they barely beat this team, they barely beat that team, this is the one week they'll come out, dominate, and shut everybody the fuck up, because that's what they do each and every week. This is a great team. This is a great organization led by a great coach. I mean, like I said, there's nothing to say about it, man. I'm back in the birds.
I did not pay him to say that. I just want to let y'all know.
Yeah, hell no.
Hell
no. That motherfucker can pay shit. You still pay me $150 to $200, and I'll still say what the fuck's on my goddamn mind. Thanks for the money.
Yeah, we're not gonna go into too much. Obviously, I got a little bit of bias, but I love the Birds in this spot. Yeah. Especially at home. It's just Jalen Hurts at home. What are we doing? Why are we gonna lay points with a road team? So I don't know. I'm gonna take the Birds, take them on the money line. Whatever. It is what it is. Let's move on to the third 4:00 game on Sunday, and that is the Cleveland Browns traveling to Los Angeles to face the fighting Rams with Matthew Stafford back there. This is more so going to be a stay away game for me. Cooper Kupp is just, I don't know. He's not the Cooper Kupp that we expect.
He's not there. He's not there. He's not fully healthy. He's
not fully healthy. Yet. Even Nakua isn't even like the Rams offense just isn't getting explosive plays. They just move the ball consistently downfield, and Kyron Williams being back is huge. But I really don't want to kind of bank on that versus Browns defense. I'll probably stay away from this game. Dynell, did you have any read?
Not really. Like you said, if anything, kind of back the points here with Browns plus 3.5. I don't know who the quarterback is. That's the scariest part. But then of course with the Rams offense, are they really going to do much against this Cleveland defense? Let's be honest, probably not. And like I said, Kyron Williams coming back is huge. But coming straight off of IR, I'm telling you right now, coming straight off of IR, that man's not having damn near 150 to 175 all-purpose yards against his Browns defense. So yeah, stay away game. Don't touch it. Tell the fam. Yeah, don't touch this game at all.
Yeah, I agree. Just keep an eye on Myles Garrett. He was banged up. If he plays, if he doesn't play, that may change someone's opinion.
Might change the line a little bit.
Yeah. So let's move on to the Chiefs and the Packers. The Packers sitting at +6 at the current odds. It's most likely 6.5 in the contest. I mean, prime time under. Sunday night, I'll be playing the under. It's the lazy bet. But, dude, as much as it hurts me to say, I think the Packers are the right side here.
My boy.
Packers at home. We already say we don't like Mahomes with big spreads. He covered last week, I believe, versus the Raiders.
That was ugly.
But the Packers prime time, this is probably going to be a low-scoring game. I'm going to go with the home dog. Give me Jordan Love at home.
Yeah, no doubt. Jordan Love at home, and the way that defense has looked last week against Jared Goff, that gives me even the more confidence for them to come out there and show out. The Chiefs receivers still hasn't proven to me yet that they can be consistent enough. I definitely love the Packers, especially you giving them +6. I ain't gonna lie to you, and it's gonna be under. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, it looks like Aaron Jones might be back this week too, so that's definitely huge.
Bonus.
Moving on to the Bengals and the Jaguars. Jaguars home facing the Bengals, obviously. They are either 8.5 or 9.5 in the contest. I'm going to probably guess 8.5.
8.5.
This game is set at 38. Again, we'll probably be playing the under. The one thing I just don't understand is why the Bengals are getting 9. Like, I feel like that's weird. I'm definitely not laying 9 with the Jaguars. Browning, obviously he has his moments where he can move the ball down the field, but there's going to be no explosive plays really from either of these teams. You maybe Christian Kirk on the deep ball. ETN has kind of like last week was kind of non-existent, wasn't really a threat in that game versus the Texans. And we know the Texans defense has kind of come alive, but like this Bengals defense is they're no slouch. The lines, the total sitting at 38 for a reason. So, I mean, this isn't going to be a shootout or anything. Jaguars win this game, but I don't think it's pretty. I'm probably going to stay away from a side, but I'm going to play the total. I'm going to play the trend. Give me the under from the Monday Night Football. What do you got, Dynell?
Yes, sir. Another prime time day, another shitty ass, ugly ass, fuck ass game. +9, -9. It's going to be under, hands down. And this is the Bengals with no Joe Burrow, and this is also an up and down Jaguars offensive team. I don't pick a side, but I'll take the points, I guess. The big theme about it, just take the points.
Yeah. Well, that's all the week 13 games that we've went over. Obviously, the games that we didn't spend too much time on most likely will not be in the contest. Dynell and I will be back Friday for our best bets episode before we go to Atlantic City. Again, if any of you guys are in the area and would love to come have a drink with us, shoot us a DM on Twitter at @ShredTheSpread_. Also follow us on Twitter to stay up to date with the podcast. If any of the picks change or we need to make an audible, we will post on Twitter accordingly. So obviously that would be the place to stay up to date with the newest information. Obviously, we're probably going to do our Friday episode a little early and try to get out as soon as possible just because we will be traveling. So that is another reason, because we may be on the go and have to change something. So if anything's altered again, we'll be posted on our Twitter. Unfortunately, I wish I could say we're still surviving and give our Survivor pick of the week. For those of you still in Survivor and want my input, I will most likely be on the Bucks if I were still alive. But obviously, you guys are live. I'm not. I only played in one Survivor, made it pretty far. So, can't complain. Dodge a lot of bullets. You aren't going to dodge them all. But that has been our week 13 preview. Dynell, do you have anything to say to the listeners before we get out of here?
Oh no, same time as every episode, guys. Like I said, tune in live. Definitely tune in to Shred the Spread. We're going to be, I'm letting you know right now, we're going to be more busy. That in fact, we're in Atlantic City. So stay out on those tweets. And like you said, man, if you're out there, interact with us, man. Trust me. I want some fan interaction. I want the crowd into it this time. You know what I'm saying? So if you're out there, if you guys are in the Caesar Sportsbook, guys, definitely stop by. Come give a shout out to us. Drink a beer with us, man. Shit, we'll buy you one. But not so much Jared, probably me. But at the end of the day, man, come out, support us.
Yeah, we obviously there's a big game this weekend. Dynell and I will be balls deep in that 49ers-Eagles game. So again, thanks you guys for everybody who's listening and coming back, even during this rough patch. We promise you, we stick to our guns. We're going to turn it around. It starts this week. For the Shred the Spread podcast, I'm your host, Jared. He's Dynell. For our awesome producer, Tyler. This has been another episode. Thanks again for listening. And until Friday, we'll see you. Peace.